Have you ever met a buyer or a seller and they give you the objection, I have a friend in the business? I bet you have. Most of us have. And I got a killer objection handler for you today. So stay tuned for today's episode of Real Estate Success Mastery TV. See you in a minute. Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Sales Mastery TV. I'm your host, Chadi Bazzi, a real estate coach and trainer, and I'm on a mission to help you master the art of selling so you can take more listings than you are right now, sell more homes much faster than you ever have, work less, and build a business by design. A business you absolutely love that gives you the money, time, and freedom that you deserve. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hey there, Chadi Bazzi here with Real Estate Success Mastery TV. Welcome to Q&A Wednesday, where every single Wednesday I answer a question for you that we got from someone from our audience. You can always go and ask me a question by simply going to resmquestions.com. So today's question comes to us from a woman by the name of Sandra. And Sandra writes me, the question is, Chadi, you know, one of the biggest objections I always keep on getting is I have a friend in the business. Seems like everyone out there has a friend in the business. What is the best way to handle that objection? So here's what we're going to do in this video. First, I am going to handle the objection. Then I'm going to walk you through the process I personally use to handle that objection and the process that you could use to handle that objection. So first off, Sandra, thank you very much for submitting the question. And here's the objection handler. Mr. Seller, I can totally appreciate the fact that you have a friend in the business. And I am confident that you've selected to work with them because you feel like they have your best interest at heart. Am I correct? And they're obviously going to say, well, yes. And then you're going to follow up by saying, so if what is in your best interest may be another marketing approach or a strategy that could ultimately put more money in your pocket, surely they will not have any objections to you taking a look at this other market strategy because they want what is best for you, right? And they're going to say, well, right. And then you're going to say, that's exactly why we need to set an appointment so I can show you what I believe may be that right strategy for you. And at the end of the day, we'll make it a win-win situation for everyone. What is the best time for me to come over? Today at 3 or would tomorrow at 4 be better for you? Okay, that's my objection handler. Now, I know for many of you who are watching this video who don't have direct contact to me and or have worked with me in the past, this has got to be the most unique objection handler for the I have a friend in the business objection handler. And this is the one that I personally used when I was active in the field, and it worked wonders for me. There's been many times where I went out on an appointment or set an appointment to go out on an appointment with a seller who's got a family and or friend in the business, and I ended up listing that property. And this is exactly how I was doing it. You got to get your foot in the door. So how did I do that? I wrote down a 4-step process. If you go back and rewind the video and or listen to it in your car, etc., wherever you may be listening to this or watching this, the 4-step process I used was, number 1, I repeated and I approved the objection. I repeated and I approved the objection. I let them know that I was listening, and I let them know that it was okay, it was valid. See, most people, what they do is they just, when they hear an objection, they just go on a defensive. Well, if you go on a defensive, you're going to put the seller on the offensive, and it's going to be like, you know, like you guys are butting heads. That right there is going to create a lot of friction and a lot of resistance. And at the end of the day, the one that's going to lose is the one that's trying to make a point, which is you. And that's not what we want to do. We want to really go in there. And the way that we do that is we repeat and approve the objection. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, I put down unique, genuine handler. Unique, genuine handler. See, scripts, you know, there's a lot of, I mean, and I could give you word for word this objection handler, and I'm going to give it to you. And for some of you, it's going to fit your personality and it's going to work out perfectly. For some of you, you're going to be like, oh, another script. I can't use this. I can't say this. It's not going to work for me. That's why I said unique, genuine handler. See, what I want you to do is I want you to really think about the objections that you are receiving, whether it's this one or another objection. Like really think about the objection. And number 1, say, you know, what is a unique and genuine way that I could handle that objection, and like really write it down, like write down your own, way of handling the objection, because that's, your authenticity, that's your genuinity, that's you, and you got to bring you into the transaction. You can't be someone else through somebody else's script. Okay, so unique, genuine handler, and that's exactly what I did with me. Number 3, tie downs. Use tie downs. If you notice in the objection handler, I used at least 2 tie downs. And the reason I use the tie down is to bring the seller right back into the conversation, to get the seller to say yes at least 2 times before I went ahead with step number 4, which is the close. Ask for the appointment. They're not going to volunteer the appointment. You got to ask for the appointment. So again, I repeat the 4-step process. Step number 1, repeat and approve the objection. Number 2, use a unique, genuine handler. And number 3, use at least 2 tie downs. And number 4, close for the appointment. So one more time, Mr. Seller, I can appreciate the fact that you have a family friend in the business. And I'm confident that you selected to work with them because you feel like they have your best interest at heart. Am I correct? And they're going to say yes. So Mr. Seller, if what was in your best interest is another strategy and or marketing approach that could ultimately sell your home quicker and put more money in your pocket, I'm sure your family friend is not going to have any problem you at least checking that out, because they want what is best for you, right? Boom, we just got the second yes. And now you close for the appointment by saying, that's exactly why we need to set an appointment so I can show you how my marketing strategy may be the one to do that for you. What's the best time for me to come over? Today at 3 or tomorrow at 4? So if you have a question and or an objection that you're dealing with that you want my assistance with, please send it to me to resmquestions.com and I'll be sure to answer your question. And if you want additional free training on how to become a better salesperson so you could convert at least 80% of the appointments that you go on, then join me on Thursday, June the 26th at 5 p.m. Pacific on a free complimentary live webinar workshop where I'm going to teach you how to become the best salesperson you possibly become. And I'm going to reveal to you the 6 most strategic elements that will cause anyone to quantum leap their business in a very short period of time. So to attend the webinar, simply go to shadibazzi.com/webinar. Again, that's shadibazzi.com/webinar and register for the webinar. And subscribe to the podcast. Go to iTunes, put in Chadi Bazzi and or Real Estate Success Mastery TV. Subscribe to the podcast so you can get these videos and or audios delivered straight to your mobile device every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And again, if you have a question, simply go to resmquestions.com and please don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and a positive review on iTunes. I hope this video served you. I'll put all the details in the show notes at shadibazzi.com so you can go there, get all the links for everything, and we'll take it from there. So thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of Real Estate Success Mastery TV. I'll see you soon. Take care.